Hello, it is day one of 626 Night Market here in Pleasanton. It is 3:37 p.m., so the event just started about 37 minutes ago. Friday hours are from 3 to 11, and Saturday and Sunday is from 1 to 11, which I personally don't think it needs to be that long. However, I could be pleasantly surprised. I've never done this event before. If you're not familiar, I have done the 626 Night Market in Arcadia as well as the one in OC. Did decide to try this particular event because I have heard good things about Pleasanton, and it's pretty comparable to the one in Arcadia. So even though it is a bit of a distance for me, I wanted to try it as I am originally from LA. This is the booth so far. I really like this location because we actually have shade compared to other places where it's really sunny. So we have the pins up here, phone grips down here, stickers right there. I do like having two spaces because then I can open up the catalog and it'll have the pins on one side and stickers on the other. I don't really have a place to put the Totoro and the business cards just because there's not a lot of space, and I don't really like to put a lot of space because people like to put their drinks on here, so I kind of try to discourage that. But also, it is really windy. I have heard that this area is particularly windy, so I have it up here so it's less likely to get knocked down. Keychains up here, corduroy bear bag up there, magnets, lanyards. I am out of the Demon Slayer lanyards and I don't think I'm going to restock them, so just a blank space for now. Ita bags, and then more Ita bags.
Recording Inception.
Wow. Come visit her booth at 626. It looks so good. So nice to see you again.
My spell is Mualcaina.
So it's a little bit later in the day, as in it's 5:13 p.m. and again, not too busy, but honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it's not that bad in terms of the number of sales so far. I mean, it'll probably be better later in the day and as it gets closer to nighttime / evening. I think it's just because I'm not in NorCal all the time. Like the last time I was up here was Fanime, and that was back in May. And this is the last time I'll be up in the Bay Area, at least this year that I know of. I also really like the spot. So we are towards this area where it's towards the entrance, and I was a little bit worried because there is an exit here, but I'm not sure if this is one of the main exit points, and I'm afraid it's going to be like 626 OC where people aren't going to go back in this area. However, I do have some vendor friends who did do Pleasanton last year and their spots are in this area, so I'm going to assume that it's also pretty good in terms of traffic. I also like the spot because there's a lot of trees lined up. Behind this booth there is grass and there's a lot of trees in this walkway, so you are more likely to get some shaded spots, and I was worried that this weekend would be super hot, but I'm actually not too phased, so I'm really happy about that. I would probably choose this spot again next year, but we'll see how revenue and traffic works in the next few days. Before I forget, this is how the back looks. Messy per usual. Have most of the bags up on the wagon, a few things down here, some things accessible here. Usually I have the director's chair up here just so it's easy access, but I've been pretty good so far, so I'm just standing. Water, very important, especially because it's very warm this weekend. Yeah, very organized. Also, I don't know why, I didn't even think to buy this in an Asian market, and I found this at 99 Ranch, and it's my favorite milk tea, and I was very excited, so stay hydrated. Hello, so it is 6:55, and it's been actually, it's only been 4 hours. I feel like it's been longer, but anyway, it's been about 4 hours since this event started, and I have to say, I don't know, maybe I had somewhat low expectations, or I'm just super burnt out, but I feel like it's been going decently well so far. I think we only have about like 25, 26 sales within the past 4 hours, which is about how it usually goes. But I feel like I've gotten a little bit more big purchases, mostly because I'm not in this area that often. So there were a few people who did wait to purchase the bear bag or the heart bag or the heart wallet until I was here in NorCal, so at least I don't have to pay for shipping. And my shop update isn't until August 11th, so they don't have to wait until then. I also really like the spot. I did mention this before, but I didn't realize we would be near a tree, so we basically have a good amount of shade. And behind us there is grass, so it's really nice because a lot of attendees are able to bring their lawn chairs so they can just sit over there, and it's really nice and cool. So I did hear a lot of people who said that they watched my YouTube videos like right before coming here, which is actually kind of crazy and kind of funny. So thank you so much for stopping by. I'm always pleasantly surprised when people say that, so I really appreciate you coming by. It's kind of validating to actually hear people in person tell me that they watch my videos, because sometimes I wonder, like, do people actually watch my videos? Thank you for stopping by, and thank you so much. And I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying the vlogs and enjoying the videos, because there are a lot coming, especially now that I'm not doing events as frequently. I'll show you how, basically, as I showed you the display, but there is grass as mentioned, which is really nice because then it's not too warm. I know if you're on the other side, like over there, it is pretty warm before evening because there isn't much shade. So I did see some people were like really sweating because it's relatively warm. I think it's about in the mid 80s, which is pretty high for the Bay Area, but in LA it was like in the 90s, so this is actually like pleasantly nice. So it is 10:08, so it's less than an hour until this event ends, and overall I feel like it got less busy as it got later in the day, or in the most part it was pretty consistent in that there were sales like every so often, every several minutes. So it didn't feel like there was one point where it was the most busy. It was just relatively consistent. And even for Friday numbers, just comparing it to other night markets, it is on the average in terms of a day one or a Friday. Sales-wise, a lot of people did purchase the sets of the stickers or the pins. There were a few people who purchased a bear bag and a heart eat a bag. But I feel like most people purchased either enamel pins, phone grips, and stickers. But we'll review the numbers tomorrow. Packed up for the day. See you tomorrow. Hello, it is day 2 of 626 Night Market here in Pleasanton. It is 1:13 p.m. It is slightly warmer today, and I will say that this is with a lot of night markets, not necessarily this one in particular, but even if you do have all 4 canopy walls enclosed, your display will get dusty, so definitely don't bring anything out that you can't easily clean up. And pretty much when we come in, I do have to dust the table just because it is really dirty. Surprisingly, there was a good amount of people coming in. However, again, they are probably here for the food first, and I know a few other merch booths were not necessarily open yet, so they probably won't come in until like now or in a little bit. Yes, hello! I am finally visiting her. Look at her booth, it's so cute.
You want to see your, you want to show them what stickers you have?
Yeah! Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, this is such cute packaging. Thank you. Bye. It is now 6:33. It's been 5.5 hours, and to be honest, I feel like it's just too long in my opinion. But like if you think about it, like 1 to 11, that's a whole 10 hours of event time. And overall, like I feel like it's just been slowly trickling in that it's pretty consistent. I feel like it's been a little bit more consistent yesterday. I don't know, like there was a good rush in of people coming in right at 1, but it still just started slowly trickling in. It didn't start getting a little bit more busy until around 6 p.m. and we still have 5 more hours because it doesn't end until 11 p.m. Also, comparing to yesterday's numbers, I feel like I pretty much made my baseline of what I'd be relatively satisfied with for an event for one day. Again, my expenses are a little bit more because I did drive all the way up here from LA and I did have to pay for hotel, but overall it's been okay so far. It is 7:47 and there's a good flow of people coming in. I feel like sales-wise it's pretty on par with my typical night markets for Saturday. There's just a lot of people coming in. Like now that it's much cooler, it stopped getting super warm, or stopped being really warm around 6 or 7. Display looks at night. That's why it's important to have really bright lights, because then you're easily visible in the night crowd. So what I started doing that I felt like would work is have both of the catalogs up front, so it's like right where I'm doing transactions. So then one side has all of the vinyl stickers that they can point at, and then one of them has all of the pins. But the thing is, I think just because of the color scheme, this kind of blends in with the whole catalog, so I might have to adjust everything so this one is visible. Same thing here, like it's kind of hard to see unless you stare at it for a long time, which most people don't. So, but I do like having this option of having all of these up front so then they can look through it. Hello, it is day 3 of 626 Night Market here in Pleasanton. It is 4:05. We did get here a little bit late just because it doesn't get that busy until later in the day. But there has been a steady stream of people, even though it is still pretty warm. When I was comparing the numbers, interestingly enough, I actually did super well yesterday compared to Friday. And typically for night markets, I feel like it's been pretty steady in that there's maybe a few $100s in terms of a gap between Friday and Saturday, but there was a pretty decent gap in between. The number of transactions were a bit on par with my other night markets. I think it's just that more people yesterday purchased a little bit more. I know there are a few people who purchased Eda bags or a lot more pins, which helped a lot. Again, as per usual, thank you so much for everyone who stopped by. I really appreciate you. Thank you, especially since a lot of you were from YouTube or from social media. Overall, I don't even know what my numbers will be for today, but I have heard that Sunday actually tends to be a little bit better somehow compared to Saturday. At least here for 626 Pleasanton. I would do this event again because my only expense really is hotel, the vendor fee, and food and whatnot. I also really like the customer experience. I feel like everyone's been pretty kind for the most part. If you're interested in vending at 626 Night Market here in Pleasanton, this is one of the 3 major 626 night markets. There's Pleasanton, OC, and Arcadia as the main one. Typically, Arcadia is the largest one, even in terms of how big this event is. I would say it's about double Pleasanton and OC. Not together. Vendor fee is $800 and it really just includes a 10 by 10 space. Everything else you have to bring yourself, canopy, tables, lights, and so on. However, it does include electricity. I don't remember the amount of electricity, but for most vendors, it's pretty adequate to how much you'll need to at least just light up your area. Parking is extra. I did have to purchase it ahead of time. You can purchase it online at least like 1 to 2 weeks in advance, or you purchase it during vendor setup on Thursday. Otherwise, I believe it'll be $15 per day. The hours are a bit long compared to OC and Arcadia, so that's something to consider. And again, it is pretty warm. However, I would say that Arcadia is much warmer compared to up here. I'm not sure if there's another exit point, but I would say that the entrance and the exit is in one spot only. So it's nice that you'll actually get traffic coming in as well as traffic coming out. The food vendors and the merch vendors are separate, but I do feel as if there's a lot of people who are purchasing ahead of time, even prior to purchasing food. Just some miscellaneous things that I feel like are also really important, but no one really talks about, especially for events like these. With this location, there is a free water filling station, so essentially, as long as you have a water bottle, you can refill your water. It's clean. Bathrooms are also clean. There are attendants who are cleaning it almost every few visits, so I never felt grossed out at all. Overall, really nice. I would love to come here if I was from this area. It is now 7:42, and much later in the day, there has been a more steady flow of people coming in. I think around 6 or so is when there was just a huge flow of people. It is definitely cooler now. We actually just turned on the lights, so it's a little bit brighter since it is starting to get dark. Also, I highly recommend having a sort of badge with your logo on it so people know that you're affiliated with your business.
Do you have like a...
Yeah, I do.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Cool. Are you an artist?
Yes, I am.
Okay, look for BC because that's going to be me. Awesome.
You're very young.
And then...
So,
I'm like so overwhelmed. Could I get...
Oh, instead of like the
Zoro? I'm getting 6.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I came here for stickers and I'm leaving with pins. Thank you.
Alright, so just to double check, so the keychain, the locking pin backs, and the 3 for 42 times.
Yeah.
This is your total. You can tap her into.
I like saw you guys when I first walked in and I was like, I know I'm gonna be spending money there. Oh my god, they're all so cute.
Thank you.
They're going on my apron for my I work at a coffee shop. All going on my apron. All of them.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm gonna be like, hey, can I get a new apron so I can represent? Like, they're so good.
And just to add something, so what's it called? Ace and Sanji do glow in the dark like the fire part. Glow in the dark when exposed to UV light.
Oh my gosh. This is so cool.
Thank you so much.
Great rest of your night.
626 just ended. I just did my really quick rounds. It is 11:04. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please watch this video to see my Anime Expo vlog if you're curious about how anime conventions go and how I work them through Artist Alley. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!